everybody, my name is Chastiny and welcome to my YouTube channel. Yes, I am wearing the same clothes as the last video. Don't judge me, just be happy I'm here, okay? Okay. If you're new here, please pull up a chair, tell me your name. If you're returning a member of the family, what is up? How are you doing? How are your goals looking? What else have you been up to? Thank you for coming back to spend another 15 to 20 minutes with me. I appreciate it. Welcome to my first episode of something new. I am going to be playing 5 questions, which entails me picking 5 discussion questions that you normally would ask your book club about the book of the month or something like that. 5 questions in here that I will pull out and answer. Now, I haven't read any of my new books yet. I haven't finished any of them for the year. But I thought I would start this off with a book that I am notoriously in love with. A book that I cannot get off my mind. A book. Whatever. One of my favorite books, Christmas Witness Protection Program by Maggie K. Black. Now, why did I pick this book? Because this is the book I can't stop thinking about sometimes. Like, I really think about how I don't like it. I think about how it's misleading. And I think about how very it was. But with me getting 5 random questions about said book, I think it's a good challenge because some of these questions are incredibly positive and ask me to think of the good and ask me to think deeply about what is happening in any book that I pick up. I will pick out 5 questions. I hope they're not all delightful questions with deep thought-provoking stuff because I don't know how deep I can get with this book. But I will do my best to answer honestly. And also, this is the book I kind of remember the most. Or do I just remember the feeling? Anyway, let's jump into it, shall we? You know what? Before we get started, I think we should refresh our mind about what this book was about. A witness targeted and on the run. When key witness Corporal Holly Archer is abducted, Detective Noah Wilder risks everything to rescue her. Now, they're undercover as an engaged couple, hiding from a sinister hacker group who plans on exposing every witness in protection on Christmas Eve. But can Noah and Holly stop the deadly conspiracy without tipping off those who want to kill her? You know, I really kind of I don't think they ever really acted like a couple. Like, it's not like they had to go undercover for real. Not really. Yeah. Okay. On to the questions. Question number 1. Okay. What changes/decisions would you hope for if the book were turned into a movie? Okay. I think I would change the chemistry between the two, Noah and Holly. I would definitely change that because it wasn't real. Like, he took one look at her file before he even like met her and he was like, yeah, this is a girl I think I could definitely marry. What? So maybe I would add more chemistry. Maybe he does something respectable and, like, you know, not trying to be a superhero without the superhero powers. I think that would be good. All right, question number 2. Okay. Question number 2 is, did you make any footnotes or highlight paragraphs in the book? care to share any? I think when I did the original review of this book, I think this was one of the books that was full of like little notes, but I don't think I actually made any like notes inside the actual book because I have respect for my books. I am from the old school where, you know, I really don't like writing in the books because the teachers was like, do not bend the corners, do not write in the books, these have to last. In here, I do remember one thing that I wrote on my sticky notes though, and it was, why is there an ad in the book? Oh, and superhero landing, of course. This guy did a superhero landing right in front of her as they ran through a labyrinth of like boxes in a warehouse. Ooh. Question number 3. Let me see. Question number 3. Has your attitude or behavior changed? I'm guessing since I've read this book, has my attitude or behavior changed at all? I've considered, oh God, I have changed a little bit. Oh God, I hate this book. My attitude has not changed about this book whatsoever. I still can't, because the more I think about it, the more I'm like, the timeline was like, what? 1 week? I think the timeline was 1 week. They fell in love, and at the end of the book, she's like, oh my gosh, even though we haven't known each other for a long time, I really feel a deep connection with you, and I feel like that we could one day get married. Oh God. And because, you know, I'm a glutton for punishment, I bought another Maggie K. Black book, and it's a year later, because it's another Christmas one. It's a year later, and in the first chapter, it mentions that these two are getting married a year later, and I was like, I hate this book. My attitude hasn't changed not one bit. Number 4. Can I also say that, like, my attitude towards this book, I'm not doing it on purpose. It's just safe. I'm not doing it to get clicks. Definitely don't want someone to sue me because, let's face it, do I look like I have money? Absolutely not. Did the story unfold the way you expected to? If not, what surprised you? This story did not unfold the way I expected to, not one bit, not one little bit. And not in a good way either. It didn't subvert my expectations. It really just was like, okay, like what I expected. If you go all the way back to like, not last Christmas, but the Christmas before, out of all the 4 books I had, I was most excited about this one because it gave me life. I thought that these two were gonna be paired together, kind of like a hate to love kind of thing. I thought that they were gonna have to protect each other even though he's in charge of her or something like that, you know. And I thought that it was gonna be like, you know, them hiding out and solving the crime. And really, most of the time, 90% of the time, they were just sitting at some of his like cousins or a sister's house waiting for her to get over a concussion. And I'm like, huh? Like there's not a lot. We did a lot of backstory about him and why he doesn't trust people. Something about his stepbrother and money and a gem that never fell through. I don't know. But no, it did not. I expected way too much out of this book. In fact, I put this book over an Amish Christmas romance book because I thought that was going to be the worst. It was actually the best one I read. One question left. I really want to say something positive about this book, so I hope this gives me a question that I can honestly talk about a positive aspect. I don't think I have any, but I think that, you know, these questions could really give me one. So, question number 5. La-di-da-di-da-da. Okay. Oh God. Well, it's very fitting for a romance. If you could date a character from this book, who would you pick? Well, ooh, that's a good one. I don't know. I'm guessing I would pick the tech guy. But I've read 2 books. This had a tech guy, and the secret private officer thing, the one that's set in London, is a really short book. That had a tech guy, and that tech guy kind of reminded me of Rupert Grant. So, but you know, I guess I would date this tech guy because he has a job, and you know, he's got to be some kind of smarts because, you know, he's techie. I don't know. I do remember though, I do remember they were talking about Miss Holly and how he went to school with her, but he never really talked to her, but he instantly remembered her. And he was like, oh yeah, she's like one of the best ever in class, but I never got to talk to her because I was a lonely, like, nerdy guy. And I remember I went to school with her. There's so much about this book that I don't like. But if I had to choose one, I would choose the tech guy, because I think at one point he was also in like the protection program, and so they were gonna come after him, and he set up this elaborate thing, made it look like he died, but then he shows up at like the climax of when they're fighting in the gym, and he's like, oh, here I am. I think that was the only twist I did not see coming. I think that was it, unless I'm completely thinking about a different book. But I think this was the only, I think I'm thinking about the other one. I like the other tech guy. I don't know. Yes, the tech guy. I would marry him because at least I will be somewhat taken care of. And he's working for the government, so that's good money. Like Penelope Garcia kind of money. I've seen her house. It's full of amazing little trinkets, nice and colorful. He can use that money, give it to me, and I'll pay the bills with his money and buy stuff like books. Yay! He could fund my booktube channel. God, I'm weird. Well, that was very interesting. Thank you for joining me for my very first episode of 5 questions. If you have any questions that you would like placed into this jar of questions, let me know. Give me those questions. I need more interesting questions. These were fine. These were fun. But I would like some outlandish questions that would make me really think about what I've been reading. Please like, comment, and subscribe. You know, all the basic things. And, you know, stop by and tell me how it feels. Do you like this video? Is this weird? Like, I thought about it for a while and I was like, yeah, I kind of want to do this. It's going to be way more interesting when I talk about a book that I recently read. I don't hate the book. I just don't like it. Hate is a very strong word. But it stays in my mind rent-free and I want it to go away. Flames, flames, flames on the side of my head and they're burning. Oh my God, if you can tell me where that came from, I will love you forever. Anyway, I guess that's the end of this video and I will talk to you next time. Bye.